Hello, everyone. Welcome to Build's Character. Today, I am joined by Lauren Urban, our community manager at D&D Beyond, and I don't know what we're making today. It's going to be an entirely complete surprise to me, but we're
And
doing it
me.
in a really fun way. Lauren came up with this really fun way of doing it. It's pretty old school. What is that way?
I was about to say, I don't know if I came up with it. This is just
You
the
invented it.
Yes, I did. No one has ever rolled a character before me. So we've got this dice roller. And right now, you do have to be in a character to have the dice roll. But that doesn't mean you can't just go into a character and roll some dice. And so why not? I mean, we're not going to remake Orkira. I've already done that a couple of times. But let's use the dice roller in here to roll a bunch of dice and roll a character, literally. So
Okay.
yeah, so we're just gonna do a whole bunch of d6s. We're gonna go down the line with
So I
the
press
normal way.
one. Okay. Oh, you want to go down the line?
Yeah, so the old school way
Yeah, that was intense.
is we're gonna roll our strength, we're gonna roll our dex. So we don't pick where the scores go, and then we'll
Yeah.
have to build a character using whatever scores we get. So
Yeah.
it's
Can you imagine if we ran a campaign like this, like a live play show where we just did this? I would be so anxious
yeah.
as we all did it live. Okay, so
And to
I
be
hit
honest, I'm usually the person who uses stat or who uses the manual the point buy or the
yeah, I do
manual
too.
array. I
Yeah.
prefer those personally and for my players, but if we're going to do one shot or for something like this, I thought the rolling might be
Yeah.
fun.
And
So
how many times did we like, oh, I rolled 18? It's like, did you?
so I did join a very brief campaign. It was just a couple of games that we played on Discord. And I'm pointing over here because my Discord is up over here. I feel like
Okay.
I'm like
Yeah.
Discord, and
Go
people are
down the
going,
street.
why are you pointing off screen? So the nice thing about using Avre is you can have it roll a stat block for you. So
Mhm.
it'll just automatically generate the 4d6, drop the blah blah blah. And because it's there in the chat, it's not like rolling on your own and then going, I just happened to get an 18. And I had a ridiculous roll once, but I was able to screenshot it or
Oh,
like
nice.
invite people into the channel and go, look. Not lying. I also I rolled like it was like a 17, a 16, a 14, a 13, and a 2 or 4 or something. It was something ridiculous. It was like high, dump. So,
All right. So
oh, we're in
I'm
tabs.
going to actually go into the my character section
Ah.
so we can record this properly and bounce around. So
Okay, that helps because I also have a Word doc open if we need.
create character, we go. And because I'm screen sharing, maybe taking up all the resources. So
Yeah, there's always a little bit of lag, but that's fine.
all right.
Yeah, I'm assuming what we're going to do is 4d6 drop the lowest. Like, we're going to be old school about placement, but we're going to
Right.
we're not going to handicap ourselves too much.
So we're going to jump right to ability scores for this new character. And we're going to go to, because we have standard array that's available. We've got point buy, and we're going to go manual. And now we're going to switch over to Orkira. So we're using Orkira because, hey, it's Orkira.
Because why not?
It's your
There she
character.
is. She's.
All right.
I like reminding everybody that, there she is. If anyone wants to, I don't know if there's anything in here that's. No, you can see my hit points. Yay, I got hurt yesterday. That hurt.
You tiny golden dragon.
Yeah, that was a rock. All right.
Right.
Now I'm gonna say in advance, or Kira rolls like shit. So let's see what happens when Todd is rolling for her.
Yeah, I roll better for you than you do. So
There's a reason every once in a while I'm like, why don't you just roll that?
all right, so all you have to do is go over here to the far left and click on the dice and how many dice you want. And I've clicked 4 d6s right there. And I'm going to hit roll. And there they go. And I feel like I'm missing one. Oh.
5, 6, 4, 6, 6, 5, 4. Holy crap, you rolled a 21. All right, so it'd be 12, 15. You rolled a 17.
I rolled a 17. I'm so much better at this than you.
You need to do all my rolls from now on. All right. So strength is a 17.
Strength is a 17.
Well,
okay.
We're making a melee character for sure. Holy mackerel.
No wizard, just buff wizard.
I actually have in my podcast, I have a wizard who has a super high strength because he did roll for his stats. So
nice.
All right, muscular.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's
All right.
ridiculous. That seems like cheating. And we'll drop the lowest. And okay.
So 4,
Still
8,
really
and 11.
strong.
That's an 11 in Dex.
Yeah, it's 11. Okay. Yeah, not strong, but not like
Hey,
awful.
listen, anything over 10 is good.
Yeah.
And anything 10 and over is good. I'm not going to complain.
Yeah. I feel like 4d6 was always pretty reliable.
Well,
roll. Here we
you
go
say
for
that,
con.
Everything's 2, 3, 2. Yeah, they're going down
Ooh.
here. All right, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, that's an 11, actually. No,
That's
we're still
another 11. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Not an amazing constitution, but, it's not a negative.
But not a negative. Very positive. All right. So now we are doing intelligence. This is where things get interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are going... We started really high, though, so...
Yeah, we started pretty high.
There's
All right,
no
here
way...
we go. Oh.
6, 8, that's
12.
That's a 12.
Okay.
This is a really good array so far.
Yeah, it's not too shabby. Let me push that there. All right, so we got 12 intelligence. It is looking pretty fightery
so far
already. That one. Now we're doing wisdom.
Yep.
Rolling it. And
oh,
what?
12? That's a 15.
That's a 15 now. Possibly a buff cleric or a buff ranger.
I mean, it's gonna be a buff whatever.
Yeah.
Whoever this is.
So 15 wisdom. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. God, this is fun. Actually, I love this. I'm already. Oh, it's nostalgic. All right. Finally, charisma.
Charisma.
Let's roll it.
Let's see how ridiculous our character really is. Oh, okay, 9, 12.
Consistently.
Wow.
Still a good way to make a character.
Yeah, Todd, you're doing all of my rolls from now on. I would like to officially for Akira, I'd like you to roll everything.
Yeah.
Hey, go back to Akira. Just roll a d20 for me, just to see.
Yeah, let's just test this out.
Just to see what happens. Because maybe it's not her. Maybe it's
you
me.
got a crossbow. Let's see what happens when you shoot a crossbow.
There you go. That's
a 19.
Yeah.
Weirdly not bad. Let's just roll a regular 20 for Orkira here.
Let's see what happens.
And nope,
there we
pretty
go.
on brand.
Do an intelligence saving throw. That's the one that's always the worst.
Oh yeah,
that's the one that hurts so bad.
Okay,
you rolled okay.
I'm doing intelligence saving throw. Guiding bolt knocked out of the park.
Yeah.
Intelligence.
All right.
Proof.
It must be me.
Yeah,
must be me. You. Okay, let's go back to this other character.
Yeah, let's go.
So we've got strength and wisdom are our high. High stats. So now, are we going to care about building something that, we've got the stats that we can kind of build anything.
Yeah.
But maximizing on that strength is going to be really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What are you thinking?
It's up to you. This is your show.
So
I am but the builder.
I know. I mean, if we're going to maximize the strength, then a barbarian or a paladin or a melee-based cleric. I mean, that wisdom is really good, so we're not just stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a moment where I was thinking about going monk, even though the dexterity is not so good. Because
yeah.
You can do a buff druid. I'm hearing I'm looking at chat right now. Forge cleric is coming up a bunch. Buff druid, a barbarian. I mean, a barbarian that actually has the stats to be good in social situations and actually have some decent saving throws would be super scary.
Yeah.
Hill dwarf druid. I'm seeing a lot of forge clerics. I'm really liking the idea of a forge cleric. I love
the forge domain. Actually, it's quite fun. That's what
really,
Rend is. Rend's a forge domain cleric.
It works really well. An Azamar war domain cleric.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's cliche for me to make a cleric, but here we go. That's how do you?
Okay, all right.
I think we're going. I think Forge Cleric makes a ton of sense.
What name? What's the name? What are we doing here?
All right, chat. I need a name. We're gonna let chat come up with a name. Meanwhile, let's pick a race. Now, the ones that would make sense would be like a hill dwarf or something else that gives you the right bonuses. I want to do an Aarakocra because I want to make you make an Aarakocra, but if we're gonna,
but they can't fly.
but they can't fly when they're wearing heavy armor. Jeff.
No, I love that.
Jeff. All right. This is the Forge cleric named Jeff.
My name's Jeff.
My name's Jeff. Yep, Jeff was the first name I saw in chat, and so.
What does Jeff look like?
What does Jeff? Well, let's pick.
We don't know what the race is yet. I'm putting this as interim Jeff.
Sure.
There
I
we
like
go.
that.
All
Okay.
right.
Is Jeff a centaur?
I know. I immediately looked at Centaur. I'm like,
kind
oh
of
my god,
immediately-
full
Oh,
plate
no.
Centaur.
No, Jeff is a Firbolg.
Oh yeah, totally.
Jeff is a Firbolg. I haven't played a Firbolg in forever.
Oh wow, then you're getting that +2 wisdom and +1 strength.
And you get to go invisible, and so you can just run up into battle and whack
I am
someone and be like,
terrified of
"Peace."
this already.
I'm out.
You can
All right.
communicate to beasts and plants. You have you're considered to be one size larger, so you can carry a lot more. You have hidden steps. You can magically turn invisible. Oh my god.
Yep.
And you have a little bit of magic, disguise self. Very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, and they're gonna be a cleric, so they're gonna have a ton of magic.
Yeah, this is terrifying. So now our abilities are 18 strength, 17 wisdom.
Mm-hmm. What level are we making Jeff?
Let's do 5. It's not fun unless it's 5.
Okay.
Right? Or higher.
I was at least gonna go 3, or 3 or 4 is when the ability score increases. So yeah, let's go 5.
Okay. All right. So we got the race. Let's change this. I don't know. I don't know if do we have Firbolg portraits?
We do.
What?
There's not a ton in there, but
Oh yeah, there's.
I mean, that's kind of adorable. To go, I don't know. All right, 1, 2, or 3 for Jeff for our portraits. Chat. What are we saying?
1, 2, or 3.
Give me some suggestions. I'm kind of leaning 2, but let's see what chat.
I mean, he
says.
looks like a Jeff.
2, 3. We're getting a lot of 3s.
Again, a lot of 3s, huh?
3 is total. Yeah, I think we're going
okay.
3.
All
Totally,
right.
Jeff.
Hi, Jeff. Wait. Oh yeah. Okay. So we're going cleric. So you just go here to choose your class, and you press cleric, and I say add a class.
Yay!
Yay! And then we're gonna go over here to the right, and we're gonna press 5. That's the level we will start at. Your hit dice are gonna automatically get generated for you. You can of course change this if you want to, but I don't mess with it.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so we've got a Firbolg who's a Forge Domain Cleric, which is my favorite thing, which is against type.
Mm-hmm.
Because you think about Firbolgs and they like to hang out in nature and everything, and yet this is someone who said, "Nah, I'm gonna go forge stuff."
Yeah.
So, so even before I think about like proficiencies and all of that, I usually this is the point where I usually start thinking about story stuff so that I can pick, all right, what skills are they proficient in?
Mm-hmm.
What spells am I actually picking? What does it make sense for them to have as far as their tools and their weapons and all of that stuff? Sorry, I'm being distracted by people in chat. Big man Jeff.
Big man Jeff.
So the fun thing about clerics, because I always see this when it talks about proficiencies, is religion is a proficiency that's tied to intelligence, but clerics are wisdom based.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why, because religion is tied to book reading. But I wonder.
But medicine is tied to wisdom.
Medicine is tied to wisdom because.
It's very confusing for me.
Yeah, in the way that I've always had to figure it out in my head is wisdom you deal with people, whereas religion you deal with books. Religion isn't the actual praying to the god; it's the I'm gonna study religion.
Yeah.
But I wonder if, because Jeff has a pretty good intelligence. Jeff is not dumb. I wonder if Jeff found a book on forging. I wonder if Jeff was a reader and decided to get better at defending the nature that he was in, and was doing a whole bunch of research and read a book about the Forge and thought, this sounds super cool. I want to go learn to make swords and axes, and then along the way found God.
Okay. So religion?
So religion, yeah.
Okay. And
then let's see.
I mean, history could work too if like he
History.
discovered books on smelting and stuff like that or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking insight though.
Yeah.
Especially with his wisdom being so high, I think.
Yeah. It's true. All right. So religion
He's
and
a people
insight.
Firbolg.
So you go down here to your divine domain, and we've got lots of choices, including UA, which I enabled. But we are choosing the Forge domain. And why am I not seeing it?
It's right above the order domain.
It's right there.
There you go.
I got a tiny little screen. So Forge domain.
We
Now we have domain
screen.
spells, and it's pretty cool. The Forge domain gets Identify, which is fantastic because you deal with magical items. You get Searing Smite, and smites are rare.
Yeah, definitely.
Heat Metal makes a lot of sense. Magic Weapon, Elemental Weapon, Protection from Energy, Fabricate, Wall of Fire, Animate Objects, Creation. It really has everything that you would probably want.
Yep.
And that kind of thing. You also have like Blessing of the Forge, which means you can actually make a piece of armor or a weapon get a +1. And
which
on
at
top
lower
of this,
levels is amazing.
it's really strong lower level. And your Channel Divinity, let's see, I forget, Artisan's Blessing. You can kind of do a ritual and create just about anything, given the amount of time. Which
That's only 100. Well, I shouldn't say only 100 gold pieces, but still, that gives you, especially if you pair that with being able to make things magical.
yeah, that's
Like,
true.
If you need something,
Yeah, you can forge your own sword. This really does give you that blacksmith ability. Yeah. So you could be like in the cave and just like, I'm just going to make something. I'm going to make a weapon.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a great sword. And now it's magical. Ta-da.
yeah, because if you can make it magical, it doesn't necessarily need to be something fancy. You're
No,
immediately
no.
making it awesome by making it magical.
Okay, so this is already really strong. What do you want to do for your ability increase?
Go back to our stats for a second. Let's see if we've. I
I got
am
17 in wisdom right now.
Yeah, I wanted to see what we had odd numbers in. So I'm kind of leaning ability score and go con and whiz.
Con and whiz.
Yeah, get our constitution, because I mean they're going to be a frontline cleric if you're a forge cleric. So
That's true.
let's get our constitution up a little bit and get us to an even number. Let's get our wisdom up to an even number. Let's get those bonuses. Clerics have so much utility; they don't really need much in the way of feats to buff the things that they're doing. And you have access to all spells at all times. So I feel like just a nice stat bump is going to be the most useful.
That's true. I mean, you could always take a heavy armor master, which I'm thinking about taking for one of my characters, where you just flat out don't take 3 points of damage.
Yeah.
From slashing, piercing, or bludgeoning, which sounds like it's not amazing, but honestly, it is amazing. Like anything that like reduces your damage is pretty exciting.
It adds up because it's every hit as well, right?
Yeah.
So if someone's multi-attacking you,
it could be a swarm of kobolds. They all have to get past that 3-point hit point reduction.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's if they hit you. So, now we've got, and this is a thing I always try to remind people: if you're playing a spellcaster, you see your class features here on the left, but right next to class features is your spells. Do not forget. And you have these already selected for you.
I will say I tend to like doing the rest of character creation before I go back and pick spells.
Okay.
It's not as important, once again, for a cleric because you can change out your spells, but I find it helps me with character creation because then the spells that I pick might be very flavorful. Some characters, I'm not going to ever touch a certain spell because they wouldn't. And so going through the background and kind of thinking about what they do is helpful. But that's me. I jump around a lot.
Okay. Okay, and that's normal. What kind of background do you think Jeff has then?
Ooh. All right, chat. Give me some background options. I end up with Far Traveler a lot with my characters, which I don't necessarily know if I want this character to go that way. I mean, if they're book learning, they can't really be like a hermit or out in the middle of nowhere. Charlatan. Ooh, inherited could be interesting.
Oh, weird.
Well, how does a furball get a whole bunch of books and a forge and
Maybe he's
access to all
adopted.
of this?
Yeah.
Well, or you've got your rich uncle in Waterdeep. I don't know.
You are the heir to something of great value, not mere coin or wealth, but an object that has been entrusted to you and you alone. The inheritance may come directly to you from a member of your family, your right of birth, or it could have been left to you by a friend, a mentor, or a teacher, something else important in your life. The revelation of your inheritance changed your life. Thor would get this. And might set you on a path of adventure, but it could also come with many dangers. This is also the King Arthur myth, including who else covets your gift, and you may want to take it from you by force. So you get survival,
Which makes sense.
Arcana or history.
I think history probably makes more sense, especially with the backstory we're building for Jeff. If we're coming up with he's inherited a forge, a divine forge, and a whole bunch of books, and now he's gonna study and learn, and yeah, like you said before, history makes more sense.
What kind of tool proficiencies does
So I gotta know what you normally do here. So when you have a character that is not necessarily into, like, I don't see Jeff as being someone who plays a musical instrument or plays games. So when that happens, what I end up doing is I take one of the dice set or the playing card set. I take like the most basic set, something that I could then use in any situation.
Yeah.
Which is boring, but it means when they show up somewhere, they're like, how often does your non-musical character really need to play the lyre? So
yeah, it's weird. It does come up a lot. I choose horn a lot.
Okay.
Because it's functional for like letting people know that bad things are happening. Like playing the bagpipes isn't like a universal warning, but like playing a horn
you
like
are not
warning.
wrong. However, if someone hears the horn, depending on the type of horn that's being played, you might ignore it. Nobody ignores the bagpipes.
You could do the horn where it's just like doo 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 doo.
So, a couple of people in chat have suggested a drum for
Drum circles.
Well, for war drumming or stuff like that. But I feel like if you're a forge cleric, you're already doing this a lot.
Yeah.
You probably don't want to do that anymore.
You're probably not very good at it because you're probably like hitting it too hard.
Yeah. You're probably super good at keeping on time, and then you just break the drum after 3 hits.
That's good. Yeah. Okay, so we are doing dice then.
Go back to the list for just a second. I'm kind of amused by the idea of this giant Firbolg war cleric with a huge hammer and massive muscles playing a tiny little flute.
Little tiny flute.
I mean, it's not piccolo, but it's going to be close enough.
Big giant hands.
I find that amusing.
Big calloused hands.
There you go.
All right, what does this Firbolg Forge Master
not get Sylvan? Oh,
that is interesting.
I thought that they common. They don't get Sylvan. All right. What do they get, if anything?
I don't remember.
If only we could. Yeah.
If only we could move backwards. And we got Firbolg magic
languages.
I don't. What?
At the bottom. Oh, there you go.
You can speak and write Common, Elvish, and Giant. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes way more sense. Okay, so what's a language that a Forge Cleric... What did Jeff have to learn in order to read the books that he learned everything from?
Maybe Dwarvish.
That's kind of where I was leaning to.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a quick look at chat.
It'd be funny if you learned it from kobolds.
I mean, you can learn it from anybody, so why not?
Yeah.
That would certainly change his backstory in a very interesting way.
And learned it from dragons.
I was just hanging out with this dragon, you know? Gnomish would also be cool. Yeah, I think Dwarvish does make the most sense.
It'd be like elf if it was a gnome. It would be like, Santa, I know him. He's just the big Firbolg amongst the gnomes.
I learned all my crafting. That was a movie, wasn't that? That was a movie with
Elf.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Will Ferrell is yeah.
Will Ferrell, thank you.
I actually watched it for the first time last year. I had never seen it.
And?
I was amused.
Okay.
I didn't want to be, but I was.
I've never seen it. I just know of it. So, Celestial, if we wanted to go with a more, I've been blessed by the gods, and that's why I can now use this infernal, or this magical
this
forge.
infernal.
Or maybe it's I don't know.
All right, okay.
We haven't decided what.
Maybe an Asmar like came into town and told you how to how to make weapons.
Well, our inheritor doesn't have to be a family member. It doesn't have to be another Firbolg. It could be anybody.
All very true. Wow. What if it was like an Asmar that was dying, and it taught you this stuff? Like it would be a really unusual combination, right? Like a friend that was a Celestial, that an Asmar that like taught you how to do this. It's a weird buddy cop film.
Or a friend of a friend, or a friend of the family kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Knows that their time is limited, and I need to pass along my information, my knowledge, and
right.
I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy, that kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. What else do you want to do here?
Cloud? No, we're not going Final Fantasy VII here. Sorry, every once in a while I just look over at chat and I'm like,
what?
This is what I get for not paying attention to chat 100% of the time. I come in the middle of conversations. Okay. So, suggested character. And then a lot of this is like when you sit down to actually pick your backstory. Let's see. Fair play. All right. So, a lot of this suggests how egotistical is Jeff? How stuck up do we think Jeff is?
I don't know. I mean, I already know what I'm like. I misuse long words and they tend to sound smarter.
But he's smart. That's
Avron.
The thing. Well, all right.
Yeah. I'm just laughing at some of these. I'm like, that and that and that and that.
Yeah. And now, if we wanted to go the I want to go help people route, we've got a couple of options here. It could be interesting. Hey, why did Jeff agree to go along with this random celestial creature to learn how to work a forge? I get bored easily. When am I going to get to my destiny?
I get bored. I like the idea that he gets bored easily. Yeah, that's fun.
I'm just bored. Why not?
You can also roll, right? You roll 1d8 and you figure this out.
Or you could just type stuff in. I think you have to be in the actual character sheet screen, but I'll roll, or I'll look at all the characteristics, the suggested ones for all of the backgrounds and stuff, or I'll just type stuff up. So,
do you want to try seeing what we would roll?
Sure.
Do you still want to determine his personality by pure chaos?
Let's do this. Well, let's stick with I get bored easily because I find that funny.
Yeah, we'll keep that.
So what's the next one?
So we go 1d. Why am I having?
I think it's D8. Yeah.
Yeah, 1d8. We'll roll that for the first one. We'll just add an extra one. What do you get?
5.
5.
All right, what's a 5 in the next one?
5 is... I can't keep on moving the video box around. 5 is, I'm confident in my own abilities, and I do what I can to instill confidence in others.
Sure.
All right. So, ideals.
We got D6.
All right. We go over here to our handy dice roller, which if you subscribe to D&D Beyond, you can have access to the alpha right now. That's my advertising voice.
Thank you. I think Orkira is so cool too.
And we roll a 6.
All right.
And a 6 is destiny. Nothing. No one can steer me away from my higher calling.
I mean, that goes with our I get bored easily when am I going to get on with my destiny from before. So that's awesome.
I'm feeling he's very impatient, Jeff.
So, he is. Impatient Jeff.
Impatient Jeff.
He is.
So we're going to roll again. And we got 1. And that for bonds, I have a family, but I have no idea where they are. One day I hope to see them again.
Ooh, we've just
This is
gone
working
classic
out.
orphan D&D character, I think.
This is literally the Firbolg King Arthur build right now. So, all right, flaws. Another D6. And roll. And we got a 5. Come on, Zoom. Sorry, Zoom's in my way.
Secretly, I believe that things would be better if I were a tyrant lording over the land. Yeah, we got egotistical Jeff.
The tyrant who rules my land will stop at nothing to see me killed. This is the King Arthur myth. Completely. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, this is amazing.
This is pretty amazing. What is Jeff's alignment?
After that. Oh, gee. I mean, I guess it depends on, is he right that it's a tyrant ruling over the land, or is he just
he could be wrong.
Or is he just an egomaniac who wants to be in charge? I think for the sake of this being a playable character, it has to be the former. It has to be you really do have a tyrant and you think that you are doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess
lawful good?
No, because if I would say chaotic good.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because if you're willing to overthrow or kill the person in charge, I don't think you can be lawful.
All right. What's their faith here?
Well, so this is an interesting question. We've got a Forge Cleric. Is this a Firbolg who actually prays to a god, or is this someone who just has an ideal? Is this someone who has
a philosophy or something like that?
Yeah.
Just seems pretty obsessive. Like, he seems like he's obsessed enough to just get magic for it.
Yeah, he also talks about we're getting a lot of I have a destiny and I have to follow this destiny, which
this is very much like a philosophy, faith in oneself kind of thing. So
maybe, but also a little bit of I'm so awesome and full of destiny that I've got a divine right. This is why this god has blessed me. So I think you could go either way, but I think you're right. I think we're a philosophy cleric of the Forge.
Okay, I'll leave that blank. Lifestyle. Well, you did inherit something, but
yeah, but my gut says what he inherited was a bunch of books and a forge.
Yeah, not wealth.
Yeah. I don't
like
think he
poor?
lives. Yeah, poor or modest. He's a Firbolg, and I think his divine right is he's looking for power and control, not necessarily wealth. So yeah. I don't think he cares.
What do you get into this nitty gritty?
Not usually yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Not for me anyway.
Yeah. Because this is always in my head. Oh, do you get personal traits? Well, we already did that.
Yeah, we rolled for it all over the place.
Okay, where do you go from now?
We gotta get stuff. We have equipment.
We gotta get stuff.
We gotta get some stuff.
All right.
Now, at level 5, I'd probably be playing in a campaign in where we'd have the option to get gold and buy our own stuff. But usually when I'm first building a character, I just take the standard equipment because it helps to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Especially if it's a build I'm not used to. Like if we had gone druid, like a lot of people were suggesting at the beginning, I don't play very many druids, and I know they can't use metal objects, and so I like going equipment because it helps me make sure I've got all the basics.
Okay.
Plus, we can make things magic, so who cares?
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. How do we get that starting equipment?
Oh, click on starting equipment.
Okay.
And click on equipment.
I've never done this.
Oh, really?
No.
This is pretty much all I ever do. Okay.
Oh, that's so amazing.
So
I don't know why I've never done this.
Yeah, so literally this is the starting equipment that you normally would get out of your class. And if you've multi-class, it'll give you some options as well. And then any place where you just automatically get it, it just gives it to you, and otherwise you get the choice. Now, I find it interesting that we're missing a required proficiency for a Warhammer, considering we strunk.
Yeah.
What proficiency are we missing?
Yeah, that's very odd, right?
We're
a cleric.
What proficiency? Well, you know what? I don't think the.
How would
the
you not be good at a Warhammer?
I I mean, I'm looking at
that's your
Clyde
jam.
over there. My mini for him has a giant hammer in his hands.
I think we're gonna override this after the fact, and we're gonna just get the DM. We'll just give you Warhammer as a proficiency.
I'm looking at the chat to see if someone could tell me. I feel like I'm just missing something basic. Also, to be honest, I think either would be fine.
Yeah.
So okay, he is going to be up front. So yeah, let's give him hardcore armor.
Chainmail.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think a crossbow is always good for a melee character. It's something ranged.
Explorer's pack or priest pack?
I'm gonna say explorer's pack because if we're going philosophy cleric, and then shield.
Yeah.
Oh no, he gets a shield and a holy symbol.
Oh yeah. What's the holy symbol, amulet, emblem?
See, so I would, in this case, what I would say is holy symbol, but the RP of it is that the holy symbol is on his shield.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's weird. A shield and a holy symbol. I put holy symbol.
Yeah, so we get a shield and we get a holy symbol.
Yeah,
we'll just know
I think
that...
I unclicked it somehow.
Yeah.
Inheritor starting equipment. Ooh.
So we have a whole bunch of options.
Arcane book. You inherited tattoos, like a tattoo of a map to a secret pirate island.
It doesn't say it's your tattoo. Here's an arm.
Ew. No.
With a tattoo.
Gross.
I mean, it doesn't say it's your tattoo. I agree. Probably not where we want to go with Jeff. Yeah, I kind of like the formulary actually.
Yeah.
Like that's his first weapon that he's going to make that he's then going to imbue with magic.
Okay. This is solid.
Yep.
All right. Adding it. That's
and then
so
you
fun.
still do have to go into your inventory and equip stuff.
That's true. So you go to your inventory after that. I've never done that, and I love it. I didn't know that was a feature. So we want to wear our chainmail. We want to wield our crossbow and our wield our bolts. And our water skin. We got tinderbox.
Oh, it probably didn't even give us the weapon because we're not proficient with it.
Yeah, but we're gonna. So let's go add item first off. We're gonna fix. First off, this is gonna be a DM overruling here.
I also feel like this character is maybe not doing a hammer or a mace, but might be wielding a sword. I think this is almost as close to a paladin type cleric as you can get.
Okay. Well, if you wanted a warhammer, what you would do is you'd find out, hey, I can't. It's not listed. Unclick proficiency. And then it will appear in your search.
I'm getting confirmation. Warhammer is a proficiency that only some clerics get, not all clerics. So, so we can do the Warhammer, and then we just have to add the proficiency into our character.
That's what I'm gonna do. I want to show how to do it.
Okay. Yeah. Then let's just keep the Warhammer in there. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Sure.
Right. So yeah, for searching, I just unclicked because right now it's filtering everything by magical, common, and proficient. So when I typed in Warhammer, it wasn't coming up for me. Yeah, so I had to unclick proficient. That means it's showing me items that I am also not proficient in. And that's how you find what you're looking for.
The corpse.
Then you go to inventory, and then you try to find your Warhammer, and you wield it. And if you don't mind, I'm going to go to the character sheet real quick.
Yeah, because we got to add... This would be the next thing anyway. We got to add a proficiency for Warhammers, or else we will not get our proficiency bonus in whacking people over the head.
It's not so good with the Warhammer. Yeah. So you'll see the Warhammer here we've got +4 strength, so still pretty decent at the Warhammer. But we want Warhammer to be customized because the DM has deemed that you are proficient. So we go in here.
Oh, see, I would just add that we are proficient. I would add the proficiency. I wouldn't add.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't change the weapon.
Where would you do that?
So you can give yourself proficiency if you go on the left down where it actually lists your proficiencies.
On the left?
Yeah, proficiencies in language.
Okay.
you can actually adjust that. And that way, it's not just a weapon specific thing.
Existing weapon. I didn't even know I could do that here. I am the worst.
No, there's a lot that goes on, and depending on what kind of character you're playing, you would never think to come in here and do this. Or if you're, like, to be honest, how many games has anyone ever played in where they're given a proficiency for something? Like, that's
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a common thing. That doesn't happen with me
I mean, I think it happens with like weapons, certainly, but like it's good storytelling for you to be like, I want to learn this thing, you know, and that's part of your leveling up. I think is kind of cool. So martial, I had Warhammer already, so that's already in there, right?
Oh yeah, weapons.
Yep, it's
Simple
there.
weapons.
Okay,
Warhammer.
yeah.
Yep, and now if we look at our Warhammer, it should give us our proficiency bonus.
Yeah, now we got
and now
+7.
Any Warhammer, and this way you don't have to constantly be updating the specific weapon.
That's a good point. Okay, so what's next? Now we haven't done spells.
We have not done spells. Do we want to do them from the builder, or we just want to do them right from the character sheet?
What do you prefer?
I use the character sheet because that's, especially as a cleric, you're going in there all the time, so might as well do that right from the character sheet.
So we'll click on manage spells. These are the automatically prepared ones at all times.
Identify is a really good one to have always prepared because it's a ritual.
You never know when you're going to need that.
Yeah, I'm super bad about preparing rituals because it's
like detect magic. I mean, every time you don't have it, you're like,
yeah, I mean, I just rely, you know, when we're playing in Beyond Heroes, our character just relies on Alindra to have all those rituals.
I know.
Because
she's got all the stuff ready.
As long as she's got them in her book, she's good. But as a cleric, you still have to prepare it. And it's like, if I prepare this, then I can't have create cheese plate. All right, so we should pick our cantrips first.
Okay. So what are you thinking here? Sacred Flame seems pretty.
Oh, I go ahead and I also filter by spell level all the time because.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just okay all right.
It helps. So how many cantrips do we get? Can you scroll up a little bit? I can't see.
We get 4. That's a pretty decent, actually.
Let's see. So this is not the type of cleric
Ooh.
So usually, oh yeah.
Toll the Dead. Striking the hammer.
Oh yeah.
On
whacking
something
your
is
shield.
the Toll the Dead. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think I used it with Rend that way once. Like he just like hits his chest and that's the bell.
Yeah. Now usually with clerics, because I play them so much, I am a fan of Spare the Dying. And I feel like, especially at low levels, it is super important to have.
Yeah.
But I do wonder if egotistical, I want to rule the world, Jeff, really cares that much.
He might be guidance. He might give people guidance. See, look how well it worked for you.
Maybe, yeah.
Believe in me. Or Word of Radiance is. I mean, they're all good. So you let me know what you want.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be a melee character, so Word of Radiance is, I think, better because it's an AoE.
Okay.
Guidance is not. We get 4, you said. Do Firbolgs get Dark Vision? I can't remember. Oh, wait. I'm looking at proficiencies in language. They don't, so I'd say light.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, I think guidance. I think you make a good point.
All right. First level spells.
All right.
I like this way of choosing spells actually quite a bit better.
Oh, filtering by spell level?
Yeah. This is nice. This is lovely.
I find it helps a lot, especially when you get to higher levels. I mean, Arkira at this point gets up to level 6 spells, and trying to look through that giant list, you know, and I'm constantly scrolling up to see, okay, how many have I picked versus how many do I have left? And if you're at the bottom of the list trying to scroll, it's, and also it helps me with, all right, how many of each level do I have? Because you don't necessarily want to ignore an entire level of spells for spell slot reasons. Command. Jeff needs command. Jeff is commanding everybody.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, he is a cleric, so I think healing word is probably a good idea.
Yeah, healing word's very, and it's a bonus action. Helps everybody.
Yeah. Should we give him cure wounds as well, or
Ooh.
should we
Yeah,
only
well, I
give him
mean,
cure wounds? Is he if we're thinking him almost paladin type, he's not really healing backline people. He's like healing myself,
yeah, he might be healing himself.
healing himself and other people. So yeah, so I'd go cure wounds.
Okay. How many do we get here? We get
I only get 9 spells to prepare. Oof.
oof.
All right.
Let's go look up the list.
Yeah, let's see what seconds we get.
So these are second level spells.
I mean, hold, person, and lesser restoration are always
Oof.
good.
Classics.
Yeah.
Yeah, lesser restoration gave my character a panic attack the last game.
The lack of one?
I can't do this thing. Guess my life is gonna be in the dark place for a while. Like I just spiritual weapon is so tempting.
And
you get that bonus action attack.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. And once again, we're a cleric, so he can change these out if this loadout isn't working. How many spells do we have left to pick? Do we?
Yeah, we're down to 3, so let's look at third, shall we?
Yeah, let's take a quick look.
Spirit Guardians is pretty cool. Insight Greed is interesting.
I'm trying to keep flavorful and not
go
for the
motivational
ones
speech.
that... Yeah, that might be pretty good. Spirit Guardians is really good, especially if you're going to be that frontline person.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why clerics are so dangerous. We learned that in our 1v1. I don't need to attack you. I'm going to summon a spiritual weapon. I'm going to activate my spirit guardians. I'm going to summon this other thing. And then I'm just going to sit back and heal.
Yeah. I mean, I played a Trickery Domain version of Avern in a game with some friends, and I couldn't believe how much trouble I started. First off, I can cure wounds at distance. Mm-hmm. I've got spiritual weapon going. Like, you don't even know where I am right now. Like, I can shoot spells out of that character, and I have a floating hammer flying around, smacking people in the face. Like, you don't know where I am or what I'm about.
Oh yeah.
So, what's Beacon of Hope?
Beacon of Hope is pretty good. This is the thing that gives you advantage on wisdom saving throws. But more importantly, so I like Beacon of Hope for my actual healing clerics, because this is the thing in where if you heal somebody, they get the maximum amount of healing no matter what. But I don't think Jeff is really... No. Jeff is healing people as a last resort. So...
Can he meld into stone?
That could be interesting. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy who's going to hide, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Tongues could be interesting. I mean, he's pretty charismatic, and being able to talk with everybody would be pretty good. Sending is also good.
Glyph of Warding is interesting.
Glyph of Warding is cool, but I don't see Jeff as a much of a planner.
That's true. Sending is kind of invaluable.
Sending is super helpful.
Yeah, as we've seen. Oh, well, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, he's only level 5, so.
Yeah, but that's a solid selection of spells. So now we have. So this means that Jeff can attack with his Warhammer if he wanted to, cast as a bonus action Spiritual Hammer, bring down that damage.
I love how our we're gonna have a Warhammer. Our spiritual weapon is gonna be a hammer,
and another hammer.
We're it's hammer time. It's hammer time.
Yeah. It's dual hammers.
And he's a Firbolg, so he's huge.
Can you upcast?
Hammer.
Oh yeah, you can upcast spiritual weapon.
It doesn't do a ton of damage. It's not one of the more damaging spells, but because
it just hangs there, though. You're not. Yeah.
It's not concentration. It does force damage, which is something almost no creature can defend against. You can move it as your bonus action and still attack with it. It's the ping, and then there's no defense against it. It's not like a creature that you can dodge from or parry or anything. It's a weapon attack. It's a magic spell attack. So yeah, spiritual weapon is my jam.
It is a higher level. So is this the third level spell? Wait.
Yeah, I think it's a second level spell.
So
And
I'm
then,
reading
yeah,
it. It says when you cast a spell using a spell slot of third level or higher, the damage increases by 1d8 for every two
slots.
levels. That's why I'm not getting the bonus yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise that's like just having Shadow Blade around.
Yeah.
It's just...
No, and even if you as I said, if you upcast it, you get a little more damage, and it's not insignificant, but it's not. I think that's how it is balanced. Is it's not a giant amount of damage, but it's there and it's constant and it's a bonus action and it's everything else you want. It's great.
It's making me wonder if you can make a Divine Soul Sorcerer who has a Shadow Blade now and also has the spirit weapon out.
Is the Shadow Blade, well, once again, this isn't concentration, so
yeah, Shadow Blade's concentration, so you've got 2 spell wielding weapon attacks basically.
Is Shadow Blade an action to cast?
It is an action to cast. It is not bonus action.
Okay, and it's a spell. It's not an ability, right? I play so few sorcerers.
No, shit. It's a spell.
So that's the thing. You have to be careful about casting 2 spells that one of them isn't.
Yeah, you can't do it. Yeah, you can't. You can't just cast Shadow Blade and then cast Spiritual Weapon.
Not in the same turn, but
no.
You know, so the next you get one up, you get the other up, and clerics especially, going back to them, because you get a lot of facility with your this isn't going to be as good in combat, but they tend to get a lot of other abilities with their channel divinity. So there's often times in where you can do something huge as your action and then still bonus action heal, bonus action do a spell of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking a quick look at chat. We've got a few minutes left. I don't know.
Do we have any questions about Jeff?
Who's got questions of? I mean, how can you question Jeff?
You can't. Oh, Shadow Blade is a bonus action. That's interesting. For some reason, I didn't know that. But yeah, that still doesn't mean it gets you out of that situation. And I can't think of any way that you can use sorcery points to get around that either. So
no,
yeah.
you can't cast. Yeah. Critical Bards in chat wants to know what's Jeff's last name. Well, Critical Bard, you tell me.
Yeah, Critical Bard. What's Jeff's last name? That character. It's a solid character.
Is Jeff the big bad evil guy? Maybe.
He might be.
Maybe Jeff might be the one who starts in your party, and then there is that critical moment. There's that story. Jeff doesn't need a last name.
Jeff the Hammer.
Jeff the Hammer. That's what he calls himself. But I feel like Jeff either has an epic last name or Jeffic is like Jeff's last name is something like Smith, something really pedantic that he just never uses.
I love it.
Jeff. All right. Critical Bard says Jeff Jeffries, which I think is even better.
Jeff Jeffries.
Yeah, which is why he calls himself Jeff the Hammer. Well,
how do you spell Jeffries?
Well, he has a Jeffries. So there you go.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
And Jeff is Jeff, and then Jeff is his middle name. Jeff.
Oh,
Jeffries.
Sorry, Jeff Jeffries.
This is McJefferson. This is why he calls himself the Hammer, to sound cooler.
Mick Jefferson.
Any other questions before we have to go? Anyone else gonna use Jeff in their game? Either,
yeah, everyone will provide a link to
Jeff Jeffries McJefferson. Oh, you actually put the McJefferson in there.
McJefferson.
And then yes, all of his hammers are named Jeff, but all of his hammers are named Jeff.
The helicopter got real low.
Oh, all of his hammers are named Jeff, but they're all Jeff
sense.
With a G.
Yeah, it's probably spiritual Jeff.
Yep.
Not spiritual weapon in his.
Let me introduce you to Jeff and Jeff and Jeff.
And Jeff.
Yes.
Oh, it didn't change. I didn't hit save or something. Any more questions in chat?
Everyone is giving me alternative ways to spell Jeff. Which I think is
what you need.
Honestly, the best way of building this character is 3 different ways to spell Jeff.
Jeff.
Would your DM allow you
Jeffries.
to use all the hammers to help forging?
McJefferson.
What is
All right.
Jeff's life story? His shield, yes, his shield is absolutely named Jeff. Or Dave. Sorry, his shield is named Dave.
My shield Dave.
But it's
This is
pronounced Jeff. Yeah, I mean, that'd be the next thing I would do is sit down and I don't know if I'd come up with a life story. If I'm excited about a character, this is the point in where I write a backstory. But my backstories can be anything from 2 or 3 sentences to a page or two. But yeah, it depends on the character and it depends on what I think will be fun to not define. I try not to. I personally don't get into like tons of detail because I like leaving stuff open to discover during the game or to change if need be. Wow, Jeff is rolling pretty good.
Jeff's doing okay.
Yeah.
Woof. Whoa.
Ooh,
Jeff's
a killer.
Oh, Warhammer, you can use
so well.
Boom. How about the big? Let's two-handed. I can't see it. Oh my god, that's 10. Maximum damage.
Yeah, but then Jeff's got to drop his shield, and who wants to drop Dave?
You don't want to drop Dave.
Never want to drop Dave.
No one puts Dave in the corner, but then you like smite, right? You searing smite on that?
Yeah.
Which
is
Warhammer?
Concentration, so you gotta be cautious about that one.
That's true, but boom. Fiery damage.
I was about to say, Searing Smite is fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smites are fun.
Aren't you jealous? Or Kira?
Nah, I got fire for days. What are you talking about?
I literally make it with my mouth.
Mouth, hands.
Mouth, hands.
Magic. How would you like her to not? She is a being made of fire. Yeah,
That's
so
true.
Jeff is pretty cool. I mean, so the only thing I would say is with the stats that we rolled, I probably would be a conscientious player and bring this to my DM and say,
Oof.
So, but this is also why I tend to prefer the array or point by.
Right.
But for a one shot, who cares? For a one shot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know.
this is super fun.
Will
This character be available? Yes, we will.
We will totally make this available.
There will be a link to this character a little bit later. We usually port these characters over to an account that belongs to nobody and then publish that URL so that everybody can see Jeff in all their glory.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lauren Urban, our community manager at D&D Beyond. If you would like to get your hands on the dice roller, that's available right now in alpha for anyone who is subscribing to D&D right now, D&D Beyond, I mean. And if you'd like to subscribe to our Twitch channel, we have lots of emotes. None of them are about Jeff, but they are about a fiery phoenix. We got butter. We got psychic damage. It's literally a psychic knife going through a brain.
I mean, a couple more rocks at Orkira, and I'm going to need a secondary character, and I think I'm bringing in Jeff.
Yeah, a couple. You got hit by a boulder. That can't feel great. So, thank you so much, everyone. Please like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Lauren Urban, thank you for taking the time to make this a fantastic character.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Bye, everyone.